Hey nerds, it is Thor's Day, and you know what that means? We are talking MCU, and so today we are talking about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange 2, and that trailer and what could be to come. So hang on, we've got some Marvel cinematic news, teasers, and speculation about what to come, so don't miss out. This is the FOMO Show, MCU edition. All right, guys, so this is Dylan.
And I'm Quinn.
And we are not here to talk about Westview. What we're here to talk about is Doctor Strange. So thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Man, I cannot speak when it's time to speak. Good grief. So whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, please like, subscribe, and hit the little bell icon so that you know when we drop new videos and when we go live. And thanks again for your support and your likes and shares and all that jazz. It means a lot. It does a lot for us and super helpful. So don't forget to check out the website at www.broken.pictures.com. So special notes, just we're back in high gear for the pandemic, and so just stay healthy and take the necessary precautions you need to. Like right now, me and Quinn are doing Skype because we've both been in contact with people who had it, so it's just kind of like the waiting game. It's like, will I or won't I get symptoms? We'll see. And Quinn, I think, is starting to get some, maybe.
I'm coughing and my throat hurts. And at the current moment, I am cold, so I have a blanket.
Oh. All right, so I think that's it for special notes, as far as I can think. Oh, happy birthday to my niece and to Riley, my daughter, who had birthdays this past week. I can't believe I almost forgot about that. I am the worst. So happy birthday, Ansley. Happy birthday, Riley. Out there in the universe. In the metaverse, excuse me.
Ooh, yeah. Well, homie, Metaverse might be a lot closer than we think.
Literally today, when I was like rewatching some trailer breakdowns and stuff, there was a trailer or an ad for digital real estate. Like, what is this? Where are we right now? Like, what is going on? This is crazy. It's like it was like we were like complaining like 2020, like where's our flying cars? And then 22 is like, oh yeah, here's the metaverse. Like everything's online and you're living in a dream.
Terrifying. Ready Player One. Ooh,
Yeah,
terrifying. Yep.
All right, so I'm gonna pass it over to you.
Cool. We'll see if my body will allow me to. Wait, am I muted? No,
you good.
If you haven't left now, this is your last chance. This is your spoiler alert. In this episode of the FOMO Show, we are going to be talking about the trailer for Doctor Strange 2 and the implications it may have. If you haven't watched that, pause this, go watch that, and then come back. You have been warned.
Yeah. All right, so entering the multiverse right now. Okay. All right, so just real quick, a little bit of MCU news. Not a whole lot, but a couple big things over the past week. I'll just start out with the small stuff. Hawkeye made a continuity change. Apparently, in episode 1, so carefully drinking his tea. Apparently, in episode 1, continuity creep. I almost said continuity creepers, but the letters on Stark Tower when it was destroyed did not match up to the original 2012, so they some people caught a hold of it and they actually did the due diligence to go back and change it. So on the 17th, everything was updated, and so now it is consistent. See, stuff like that is like, it's like, okay, they really care about the continuity from show to show and that it's in the same universe and all those like little details like that. But then it throws me off when it's like, okay, where's freaking Loki and what's going on with the multiverse with him? But anyways, we'll get into that. And, so also on Monday, we got the first full teaser for Moon Knight, which I'm assuming we'll be talking about next week because there's a lot of fun stuff going on with that. But we would be talking about this week, but it's always better to be right than first. So let everybody else get all their stuff out there, and then we'll just kind of process it, and then you can come here and we'll serve it to you. Very well done. Okay, so. Also, some bad news. One of the actors from Moon Knight that was going to be playing Midnight Man, or did play Midnight Man in every single episode, as far as I understand, all 6 episodes, I think, is what they said. His name was Gaspard Ulliel. He was a French actor. He was in a skiing accident. He died. He was 37, so... man, I hate to see that happen. I was not familiar with him or his work. Of course, we'll probably all be huge fans of him coming up March 30th when we see episode 1. And maybe they'll drop 2 episodes, but anyways. Yeah, so RIP to Gaspard. And looking forward to seeing his work as Midnight Man, which is kind of like the sidekick type to Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, my brother sent a weird text. He's like, he just read that if Anne Frank and MLK were alive today, they'd both be 93, which is younger than Betty White was. That's like, whoa, wow, okay.
Right.
Huh?
Betty White lived through a lot.
She did. She saw a lot. And she did a lot for her common man and animals. She's very proactive with animals. As far as MCU news, I think that's all I've got. If you guys know of anything else, drop a link in the comments and show us what's going on. Or is there anything we missed this past week with going on with the MCU? I'd love to hear about it and stay up on that. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Tons of rumors for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, potential leaks and all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to stay away from that type of stuff because it kind of ruined Spider-Man for me. I feel like I would have been way more excited had it just happened in the theater instead of me knowing it was going to be. But like the FOMO is real. It's like, I want to see, and I got to be disciplined and not look at the leaks so that I'm surprised going in, and maybe Doctor Strange would be better for me. But that's May. It's until May, and we're already getting leaks, supposedly. We'll see. So.
Okay. So yeah, well, let's
man.
jump right in. Yeah. Are you okay? Good?
Yeah. Huh?
What? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, fam.
Okay.
All right. So, I guess we just. All right. So we know Doctor Strange 2 is basically the sequel to Spider-Man No Way Home. So if you haven't seen Spider-Man No Way Home, find a theater that's still playing with it or playing it and go see it. And you will definitely need to see that, want to see that to see what's happening next and in Doctor Strange, because the implications of that are that they kind of screwed everything up, and they thought they fixed it and it wrapped up nicely with Spider-Man, but immediately after the credits of Spider-Man No Way Home, they were like, nope, things are screwed. And Doctor Strange says, I didn't mean for any of this to happen. And he goes outside, and in one of the scenes in the trailer, he's looking up, and it's like the diamond dimension or the mirror dimension is broken, and everything's kind of floating, and if you saw What If, it looks like the inky stuff where the universe is kind of disappearing from the Dark Doctor Strange episode. So we could be seeing the universe kind of imploding, I guess, or falling apart due to their time shenanigans and multiversal shenanigans, I should say. Like, we're way past time travel now, apparently. It's just so fast.
I mean, we got enough time travel, but Endgame was time travel. Doctor Strange was time travel adjacent.
Yeah, he definitely played with time.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who else. There was, he played with time a little bit in Infinity War. It was all right. That's enough playing with time.
Things got complicated real fast, which is what seems to happen with all this. And then with Kang, like the king of the multiverse, the ruler of the multiverse, being the big bad. I mean, this whole saga is, I don't know how long this saga is going to be, or if it's going to go over the course of 10 years like the last one, or if it's just going to be little chunks or whatever. We'll see.
I say it's going to wrap in 5, in all honesty. I think we'll get like 2 big, at least 1 big event movie every year. Is from what I'm guessing. It's super me guessing.
Mm-hmm.
And then
You're saying event movie like Spider-Man No Way Home or Doctor Strange, or do you mean like an Avengers? Or I guess they're both kind of similar.
They're kind of on that scale, just like how I keep going back to it. It wasn't intentional. Just like how Civil War was basically an Avengers movie with Captain America's name on it.
Yeah.
It's just kind of movies like that because they're not there quite yet as far as like forming the new Avengers or the West Coast Avengers or
the Young Avengers or the Dark Avengers.
As far as like forming another team, for what we've seen, we haven't seen enough to say, all right, I think everybody's here now.
Mm.
So, and I think we'll have another movie or 2 before we get there, or a TV show. Because if what if that's what they've been doing? What if bear with me, what if they've been putting these TV shows together with all these heroes because the West Coast Avengers or the New Avengers is going to be a TV event series?
Interesting. I could see the Young Avengers, even though that would be huge. Like, for some reason, like, okay, so TV is, you get a movie and you get like 2.5 hours of story. Excuse me. And then, but when then you get a TV series, you get like 6 or 8 full hours, or a little bit less, 45 minutes, 35 minutes, or whatever, close. But it's sometimes at least twice, 3 times what you get in the theater. But for some reason, the theater still feels more epic, even though because the TV shows are still as like the production quality is still there.
Yeah, is because they know that like with their story, it has to end triumphantly, and you have a lot of money to pour into it, and you know production value, like you said, for the TV shows is all still there. It's a slower burn, and then a payout maybe in the end, because Falcon Winter Soldier had a payoff. WandaVision had a payoff? Question mark.
Phoner.
So
Astronaut. No, Doctor Strange.
Payoff question mark. Hawkeye also payoff question mark. Hawkeye was more setup than payoff. It was, well, yeah, we've discussed that. And then, am I missing a show?
The payoff was in, Loki and Captain
Loki,
America.
Yeah,
or,
Loki was
Falcon
pure
Winter Soldier.
And Loki didn't even have like a major, big old giant fight at the end. Like the major, big old giant fight came the episode before, and then it was just like good mother trucking writing that last episode. So I mean,
It seems like all the episodes have kind of had like their peak in the 5th episode, or the penultimate, the second to last episode, and then the last episode is kind of like tying up stuff,
setting up for something else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that kind of takes it to another level beyond or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like if you take, like you got Kool-Aid mix, and you put it in 2 quarts of water versus 6 quarts of water, and then you drink it. It's like it feels a little diluted over time, I guess. But
yeah.
But your 2 hours movie is just like it's all the flavor, everything all at once.
It hits you with everything because it knows it has to wrap up. The
Yeah.
TV show, it knows it can come back to do more.
Yeah, and there's a lot of little details and filler stuff in there that you would never get in the movies. But the movies seem like it's more bang for your buck. But that's just me. I not that I'm not enjoying the TV shows. I am, but I'm ready for them to. I'm ready for Doctor Strange because that seems to be the linchpin tying everything together. And because there's a quick little shot in WandaVision, obviously, like there's a mention of Westview in the trailer, and Wanda is obviously in it. Maybe even the big bad. We don't know yet. Mm-hmm. He's hacking up a lung over there, I guess. Oop.
Sorry.
Excuse me. I'm starting to get scratchy too. Yeah, just be aware, like your head is like this big on the screen. So if you got a little dribble, it's gonna be big. There we go. All right, so yeah, I think major tie-ins to WandaVision at the very least. We might even see White Vision. I doubt it. I don't think it kind of makes sense to see him in this. I think we'll probably see him more in like Armor Wars or something like that, I guess. But where Wanda is, there's Vision.
Yeah, Homie. We haven't seen Homie in a very long time. We've had opportunities for somebody to drop a hint, somebody to say something, but we haven't seen Vision since the last episode.
Yeah.
I think that was... Go ahead.
I was just saying we've seen these little very focused one-off stories on these particular characters. So I don't know if there's been like room.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he would have like just shown up in New York to talk to Hawkeye. It would have been funny. No, it wouldn't have. Maybe it would have been.
It just like flew by or something.
Because I was trying to remember what Hawkeye and Clint's like interactions were. They weren't. They really didn't interact that much besides that one time.
Yeah, when he went to Avengers Tower to go pick up Wanda, and Vision was kind of hurting him, and then that's when Wanda stepped up and threw Vision through the floor, like crushed him through the floor with her chaos magic.
So
yeah, he's probably not just a huge fan of Vision, I would assume.
No. And Clint had enough to deal with in New York on Christmas, and him showing up in Spider-Man would have been equally as weird. I guess there was really nowhere else he could have shown up, but of WandaVision, that was.
Yeah, I mean, come to think of it, I know that Falcon and the Winter Soldier were dealing with a particular issue, but if it was going to fit in anywhere, it seems like that would be where he would show up, because it was more government based, and he's kind of tied in with that right now because he's owned by the government.
Like if U.S. agent was sent to retrieve their property.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that could have worked. But I think he's still just kind of hovering in the atmosphere, trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Maybe.
He might even show up in like, it'd be funny if he showed up in like Thor: Love and Thunder, and he just went out into space and got lost.
I took a wrong turn at Albuquerque.
Huh?
He would have said, I took a wrong turn at Albuquerque. Then Drax. That is hilarious.
What's in Albuquerque?
Dang it.
So
I want this now.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Him and Vision would be good together. Like they'd be good to play off each other. That's a good point.
Yes.
Okay. So a couple things during the trailer. A couple major things. New characters that show up. America Chavez, Miss America, who is she's from a utopian dimension, and she does these star portals, and her power is traveling between dimensions. Is that correct?
Yep.
Anything else you want to throw in there? That's basically the gist of what I know about her.
She does a little other magic as well. Her interactions with the Spider-Man, she always does some extra spells. Because in I believe she showed up in one issue of the Spider-Verse, and she was just throwing energy beams everywhere.
So she could shoot energy beams.
Yes.
Yeah. So she's more than just a portal maker.
More than just a portal maker.
And she's super strong too, right?
She is. Yes, she is. She's not, like, if you had to scale her strength, not as strong as, okay, well, who would be at the top? I'm trying to think.
Is she kind of like, yeah, okay. So she's kind of like Super Captain America that can make dimensional portals?
Yes. Like, I would say she's probably just a hair stronger than Steve Rogers.
They just keep upping the power levels here. Like, where are they going? There's like, hit the ceiling.
Hulk at his angriest should be the top. It should be the pinnacle. Because Hulk at his angriest, he's immortal Hulk. He can't be stopped. He can destroy a whole planet by doing this. But yeah. Because Thanos is strong, but not as strong as, like, Planet Breaker Hulk. So, that's getting into a whole different thing. Yes, she is strong. She has super strength. She can conjure energy, shoot that mess out, make star portals to travel through dimensions.
Mm-hmm. And we see one of those in the trailer too, and a character that's spinning, kind of like falling, I guess, through one of them. And that's a whole different thing we'll talk about in just a minute, who that person is.
So, yeah. Her introduction is interesting.
She's also a young Avenger. That's another young Avenger that they're setting up every single property. Like they run out of like, and we're probably going to see Tommy and Wiccan in this one too. I mean, Tommy and Wiccan, Speed and Wiccan. I forget the brothers' names. Wanda's children, if I had to guess.
Children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and they're also young Avengers. So pretty much the only one that we don't have after this, I think, is Hulkling, and we might see him either in She-Hulk or in Secret Invasion, because he's technically not a Hulk. He just idolizes Hulk. He's actually a what?
He's an alien. I forgot the
Skrull. Yeah, he's a Skrull, isn't he?
Yeah.
And well, maybe I don't think he's like a full, like a clone of a Skrull or something like that. Am I off? Huh?
Oh,
you know what? He's a hybrid. He might be a Skrull. Shoot, man, I am going blank on my Marvel alien names. What's the people that the Skrulls are at war with?
Kree.
Kree. Yeah, I think he's a Kree Skrull hybrid, isn't he?
Maybe. I believe so. Oh, because you're making me second guess myself. Yeah, we're right. He's a Skrull Kree. Skrull Kree? Skrull Kree.
So he could probably show up. I mean, it would make sense for him to show up in Secret Invasion because of, obviously, the Skrulls. But he could potentially also show up in, what was the other one I said? She-Hulk, coming out this year. And so, I mean, that's... If Moon Knight is next, that might be unless they introduce a new Young Justice character, that'd be the first series without introducing a Young Justice character, or not Young Justice, my bad, Young Avengers character. That's a whole different thing. That's a DC thing. So
yeah, because there's Vision's daughter who hasn't been introduced. His daughter that he makes, it's just in his image. Forget her name, but she literally just looks like Vision with blonde hair.
Oh, like in the Tom Ford comic, he's got a whole family.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think like who else would be left besides the Patriot, because we don't know if Isaiah Bradley's grandson, if that mess passed down, basically.
Yeah. Well, from what I understand in the comics, doesn't like he kind of like gets into some stuff and tries to get the powers because he kind of wishes he had them and he thinks his grandfather is not taking advantage of him or something like that.
Yeah. And then he ends up doing that, getting to a different type of super soldier serum, one that's closer to his grandpa's, and it makes him Patriot. But he's still like on par. So if the super soldiers go, baseline is Captain America. Captain America is perfect super soldier. No one's topping that. His serum there was nothing wrong with it. He had the original. U.S. Agent is up there. Like, U.S. Agent's like right here because his serum wasn't as good. And Patriot's like just below that.
Oh, okay. So that'd be an interesting battle between U.S. Agent and Patriot.
Yeah. It's also with U.S. Agent being, an actual soldier who has anger issues. Not anger issues. Actual soldier who will not hesitate to kill you. It'll be a very interesting murder.
I don't know. With Moon Knight, I think we can talk about that next week. But I think they're going to be setting up more like Midnight Suns type stuff, more that the mystical Well, I don't know the horror side, I guess, because this is mystical. This is magic stuff.
It'd be pretty horrific too.
Yeah, looking at more like vampires and werewolves type stuff.
Yeah. Which is very funny. The current run of Moon Knight that came out last year, in the first issue, literally he's taking out a van of vampires that are kidnapping people so they can eat them.
Yeah. So it's slightly different than Doctor Strange and what he deals with.
Yeah.
So I don't see them crossing paths necessarily. They deal more with the monsters type stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
So we've got Baron Mordo shows back up. We know from the end of the last movie, he had a problem with all the wizards, and he was going to start taking out sorcerers because there was too many sorcerers in the world. That's the problem with the world. That's the problem with the world, is too many sorcerers. But we're not really sure if this Mordo, Master Mordo, is like the one from the regular MCU timeline, or if this is a different one that became the Sorcerer Supreme of his timeline, or something like that, because he seems to be almost. Well, I mean, him and Strange have a scene where they're fighting, but it almost seems like there's some kind of like partnership type there, right there, where he's like, I don't know. That's just how I interpreted it. But I mean, he's very much telling him that, you know, hey, you're the one that's destroying the multiverse, so I've got to do something about this. So I don't know if he's like, he could be from a different dimension, and he's the protector of the multiverse from his dimension, and that's why he's coming after Doctor Strange, because all this possibly, I don't know.
I mean, I could see that as well. Like, you know, it could be like still running with the theory that he's a Sorcerer Supreme in his timeline. He could also just be on that tangent of, you're a Doctor Strange, cool friend. I think you just need to, and wants to wipe out all Doctor Stranges. But then, you know, he will, oh, you're that Doctor Strange. Okay, well, let's work together.
Yeah, possibly. Of course, we got Wanda, and it's kind of like this was one of Yelena's problems with the Avengers, is that when Doctor Strange finally goes to talk to Wanda, he's not bringing. He's not trying to settle the issue of what she did in Westview. He's like, oh, don't worry about that. I just need your help. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like there's no repercussions from Yelena's point of view, you know, even though Wanda is, you know, apparently taking care of that and dealing with herself and all this stuff. And so there's a scene where she is doing like a seance, and her fingers are black. So it's kind of like Agatha. And so she's been dealing with the Darkhold and messing with chaos magic. And then so there's the scene where Kamar-Taj is being attacked, and we've got Wong there, and we've got Steven there, and several different acolytes. And so that could very much be Wanda being a villain and attacking Kamar-Taj, or that is Mordo attacking Kamar-Taj, or it is just the multiverse collapsing or something. I don't know. But a couple of the other scenes throughout the trailer, we see Wong has been beat the hell up, and another scene, he's in the same outfit. He's kind of tied up, like he's being restrained. And and it looks like some of the candles and stuff from Wanda's seance in the very opening scene are like where we see kind of like some chaos, not some chaos, but like it almost looks like aftermath of that battle or something. And we see some of the candles and stuff kind of strewn everywhere. So I don't know if those are connected or not. It seemed possible.
I think you're on the money. I think Wanda is going to become. It's going to be one of those things in my head brain where one of the heroes becomes a villain for a brief point in time, and this is just kind of like taking notes from how the other Marvel movies have done their movies. Kind of like each one of them, even though there's multiple of them, they all kind of deal with the same thing in a way. Like last week, I used Tony Stark, for instance. He was dealing with problems of things he was answering for things he did in his past for all of his movies, no matter who it was, whether it's his past or his dad's past, whatever Stark past. Captain America dealing with how the world and country is at this time, and dealing with some evil that is beyond him, and making sure that this one's skewed, following his gut and his convictions to the very end. And that's really more for the Civil War. Spider-Man dealing with Tony's problems. Thor dealing with
and in this last movie, his own, he's taken after Tony.
His last movie, his own. Yeah. And then who else has a movie? Black Widow dealing with her past. She only had one movie, sadly.
Yeah. Thor.
Who else?
I guess Thor deals with the sins of his father.
Thor deals with the sins of his father. Whether it be through his brother trying to get revenge, through the battles of his father's past, and then the lies that his father told. Yeah, because he sealed away Hela.
Yeah.
Who else? The Guardians all kind of deal with random stuff. So their theme is.
Yeah, they're just clunkily trying to stumble through the universe or the galaxy and save it somewhat.
Just trying to buy beer money. Trying to earn beer money. Yeah.
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both. And so so Doctor Strange 2, the theme that I got from the first movie was that he is he's up there trying to be a sorcerer, trying to gain power, only to learn there are those who are also trying to gain power that have already gone over to the dark side of it and using that power to achieve their goals. And then he realizes, I can't go down that path. I have to find a different path.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of like he's also dealing with like his own mess ups from his own arrogance, kind of.
Yeah. Dealing with the what ifs of his past as well, because I mean, even in What If, that was the main thing. Like both Doctor Stranges, no matter what, they still like had that moment of like the choice of letting go or the choice of using this power to get what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what this in the movie he's going to deal with as well, only to learn Wanda's deep in that dark stuff more than he actually realized, and now he has to deal with Kathan.
Yeah. So we also saw the tentacle monster in there. So obviously that seems like Shuma-Gorath. Yeah, from like What If. But I mean that wasn't confirmed who that was either in What If. But from what I understand, Shuma-Gorath is more based in like Eldritch horror magic type stuff, and I'm drawing Yeah, some Lovecraft stuff. From what I understand, there's, from what I've heard and seen online, people are saying that they're skirting using the name Shumagorath because they'll have to pay rights to that estate. Even though some of the stuff I think is kind of inching into public domain by now, maybe. But that they were going to, because some of the toy leaks showed that it was called Gargantos, which is kind of similar monster. I think they're kind of merging. What'd you say?
I said disgusting. It did
It's
the
like,
same
you got
thing.
mad money, just do it. Just do it.
They did the same thing in Shang-Chi. It was for different reasons. I get it. For different reasons. Understand. I got it. Okay, cool. The dragon in the lake. We gave you a spoiler alert. The dragon in the lake
Was not Fin Fang Foom.
not Fin Fang Foom, just the Great Protector. Fine. It's cool.
Like,
It's fine.
don't go right up to the line only not to cross the line. You know, and give us what we want.
Look at you, and then take a step back.
Yeah. It's like, here's a taste. Just a taste.
So, sorry, hold on. Losing the thing. Damn it.
No
Sorry, everyone.
No worries. It's that's not a big one anyway. And PG-13, you're allowed one, so one F-bomb. Just
I think
save it for a good opportunity.
I will. What was I saying? Yeah, so I think freaking how that this whole thing of like them mixing and matching stuff. They've been doing this mess for 12 years now, Dylan. I'm kind of over it.
Iron Man 2 still don't set right on you.
2 of the 3 Iron Man movies upset me for some reason. What are you doing? Why she went out? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And the Iron Man 3, the whole movie, and then first movie I can ever actually being mad at. One moment.
I thought Iron Man 3 was fun. It was the whole Mandarin thing. Like, I'm on the same page with you, but as far as like the character arc with Tony, where him having to, you know, learn how to do it without the armor and everything, all that kind of stuff, I thought, and bringing a kid into his life, so he kind of had to like learn how to not, you know, be a douche and.
Yeah, whatever.
I like Shane Black. I'm sorry.
There were good parts, but I wish there were other ways they could have went about it. There were so many other things but
Yeah.
for them to like pull the thing, and I guess that's where it got me, is because I was thinking finally we're about to, because let me just do this. Only 3 times have we had a hero go against their arch nemesis in the MCU.
Cap.
America and Red Skull, and that was a one-off. You got that one time, and that was it.
Yeah.
Thor versus Loki, and that wasn't even in Thor. It was in Avengers.
Yeah.
If you want, you have to count this one because it's a part of the MCU. The Incredible Hulk. Well, if you want to count Abomination as his arch nemesis, I guess it depends. I would say Leader's his arch nemesis.
Yeah.
But
We don't even know what happened with that. Like, we got the tease of the Leader, but apparently he's out there. Maybe he's the one. Maybe he's the power broker.
well, that would be so cool. And the slowest burn in history.
I know, right? He's behind General Ross, the entire thing.
And then in No Way Home, we got Peter Parker, Tom Holland's Peter Parker Spider-Man, because that's his official name now,
And Green Goblin.
versus Green Goblin.
Well, versus everybody except for Venom.
Everybody except for Venom.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's it's cool for like story elements, the way that they're telling the story. They definitely found. They have what works. So they're like, let's not fix it or change anything. But it would be nice to have just like that story of you got the hero, you got their number one bad guy, and they're just about to go all at it, leaving everything on the table, throwing it all out at each other, and not quitting.
Yeah. Oh, you can't forget Black Panther and Killmonger.
Black Panther and Killmonger. Yep. So 4 times.
And what's his face? Anthony Serkis' character.
Oh, Claw.
Claw.
He didn't even Claw.
They wasted Claw. Even though they did use him in a fun way.
They use him in a way. Cool. Like so, and I know that they're not gonna take like things directly from the comics all the time, but the Black Panther story I knew growing up as a child was T'Challa and T'Chaka and his mom were there at an embassy at a I think it was in Sweden, and they were there for a conference or whatever, and his dad was there in the hotel, and the hotel beside the building they were on blew up. T'Challa barely survived, his mom barely survived, his dad was super dead. But a Claw was hired to assassinate him because what he was proposing would have made a lot of people not money. I remember what it was. He was about to bring to the UN the cure for cancer.
Oh, wow.
And people didn't want that because they were making so much, like governments everywhere and companies everywhere were making so much money off of cancer medication. So if then they have a cure, a one all be all, that's the end of it, they're going to start losing money. So kill them. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the main reasons why he hates Claw, because also Claw did escape from Wakanda taking vibranium, and he was the only person ever to do so. So, and it would have been cool to have that exchange, but I understand once again for storytelling why they did what they did.
Yeah. Still need to see that build up and culmination.
Yeah.
So, who would you call Doctor Strange's arch nemesis?
Well,
that was the biggest gulp in history.
Baron Mordo is his arch nemesis as far as like fighting to the end of time. Those two, him and Baron Mordo, because I think there's a difference between someone's greatest enemy and their partner. Just like,
Oh, I just yawned. I said, excuse me.
just like, this is a very good example. Like, Superman's arch nemesis is...
Shoot. I just went blank. Lex Luthor.
Lex Luthor. But his greatest enemy is Darkseid. So
I was going to say Doomsday, but Darkseid makes more sense.
Yeah.
Doomsday killed him, but did he though?
Killed Darkseid made him suffer.
Yeah. And he's reoccurring. Like Doomsday isn't necessarily, but not like Darkseid.
Not like Darkseid. Not like Darkseid. Yeah. So I think Baron Mordo is definitely his his arch nemesis, and to see them actually like go at it will be great. His greatest enemy, pick somebody. Literally, you got Mephisto, you got Dormammu, you got you throw Cthulhu, Nightmare from time to time. If it's an eldritch evil or a demigod, it's probably Doctor Strange's enemy. Who else is there? Doctor Strange.
Himself.
Himself.
So, speaking of, you want to get into the Doctor Stranges in the trailer?
Yeah, so let's get an eight of them.
Because I think we're running short on time already.
Yes.
So
let's get into the
so by my count, there's at least 3, maybe even 4 or 5 different Doctor Stranges in the trailer.
Yes.
Okay, so obviously you got OG Doctor Strange that we know, right? And
yes.
And then there's Dark Doctor Strange, like obviously, but may or may not be the Dark Doctor Strange from What If. Like I don't think it is. I don't think that it's that Doctor Strange, because I think the Doctor Strange from What If is a good guy. Like I think he's a good guy.
Yeah.
So and then there's another scene where we see a man that looks just like our Doctor Strange shoot all the monsters and stuff out of his hands, just like in What If. So I think that might be another Doctor Strange. So we get actually Dark Doctor Strange, but then we get Evil Strange, which is like the the piratey looking one that's like holding something like a gun on his hip or something. So there's that one, and then we know from Toy Leaks, so that scene where we see America Chavez's Star Portal, and there's a character with a ponytail that's tumbling in it. He's got, if you slow it down, you look close, he's got Doctor Strange's hair, and he's also got the classic Doctor Strange Defender uniform, and so that's Defender Doctor Strange, and we know from the Toy Leaks that's confirmed. But also,
the Strange.
there's a scene where Rachel is getting married, and Rachel McAdams. What's her name in the? Is it Rachel? What's her name in the show? I'm drawing a blank.
Cassandra. It's not.
Rachel McAdams' character. Yeah, his one true love that he spurned in the first movie, and then Doctor Strange became Doctor Strange because of his love for her, trying to find the answer to save her in What If. And Christine, yeah. So there's a scene where Christine is getting married, but it's not to Doctor Strange, and there is also the other Doctor from Part 1 in there. That may or may not be an alternate dimension in itself. I'm kind of on the fence about it because he looks somewhat different, but it would make sense if that were happening in the main storyline, because why would we go to a different universe just to watch that happen? Unless we were doing some kind of history on why that Doctor Strange is like he is or something. Like it could be that could be the backstory for evil Doctor Strange. Christine married somebody else and he lost her that way.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
He did the same thing. Like, if I had another chance, I could make a different decision trying to change that one moment, and it ends up being a what is the phrase they use? An unchanged whatever. An
absolute point.
Yeah, an absolute point. And like he then tries to do that, and he ends up just going super evil. But instead of absorbing monsters for power, he's just like, "Is that the Darkhold? Oh no!"
Kind of like Wanda right now.
Yes.
So I mean, it could be two different Doctor Stranges pulling at Wanda to get her to do different things, and based on her, it's like, you've read the Darkhold, you can do anything you want. Why do you hold back? You're so powerful. Blah blah blah. Tempting her, and then our Doctor Strange is trying to ground her and bring her back, and this isn't you, Wanda, and all that kind of stuff.
For Wanda.
Mm-hmm.
Struggle for the Nexus team.
Yeah, and so another potential different Doctor Strange is, so every time we've seen Doctor Strange appear outside of his own movies, and even ever since he's been to Kamar-Taj and he's been Doctor Strange, like Master of the Mystical Arts, ever since he's been that guy, he's been wearing his kimono is, what is that? Is like his gi, his magical gi.
The robes. That's what they are.
Yeah, the robes from Kamar-Taj, and even his, not always, but most of the time, his cape, right?
Yeah.
In that opening scene with Wanda, he's wearing a button-up and just a jacket and like a scarf. Like, he's not in his robes.
Yeah.
And so it almost seems like why is he just wearing street clothes to go talk to Wanda? And like, unless he didn't want to appear threatening, but you would think if he went in his robes, because he always seems to be in a hurry. Like, he through a portal and boom, get there. Because he's always like, there's always something happening, and he's always on top of it. When does this guy sleep? You know what I mean? He doesn't, probably.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he just throw open a portal if there's like, hey, I need Wanda's help, and it's urgent? Why does he take the time to go dress in street clothes and go that way instead of just what he's wearing, vroom, go and boom? Yes, Quinn.
Right. I don't think he could. I think that he tried, but Wanda said, no, stop that. No, use a car. And so he had to go there, like, non-magically, and basically just approach her on her terms.
Or because of what he did, he's been kicked out of Kamar-Taj, and that's why he's in street clothes.
That too. Who remembers?
Wong?
Nobody.
I mean, Wong knows he did it originally, I guess, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, some people know, because obviously the multiverse is falling apart.
Yeah. So someone has to know. Mm-hmm. I still think there has to be a weird back door to that spell, because, like I said, just knowing how magic works, there's always some sort of there's always a key to unlock
to it.
Yeah, or a key to unlock the lock.
Oh, gotcha.
Like, if there's something that does something to you, there's always a way to know that it's either happening or undo it. So, and with all the magical items that they have, I feel like something in there knows. Someone has to know. Yeah. It would be very weird to have an absolute spell like that.
Yeah. That's a good point. So, those are all the Doctor Stranges that I spotted in the trailer. However, that people picked up in the past couple weeks, where so also there's a scene where Doctor Strange he has the Darkhold at his feet, and he's using chaos magic. So he is actually using the Darkhold. So I don't know if this is after his trip to Wanda, and she is showing him what she's learned, or something like that, or if he's had to take it, or what the scenario is. But he is also using chaos magic in that scene. But there's another scene where Wanda is, you know, it shows like, do this side. It shows her hand, and she is using chaos magic in her hand. But in the background, looks like a time door from the TVA. So Loki could be potentially entering,
showing up. Mm-hmm. And he just has a bat and just hits one on the back of the head. Why are you letting her do that?
Yeah, because I mean, if he's at the TVA, and this is multiverse, like this, like we know that Kang is in Ant-Man 3 and Quantum Mania, but it seems like we would get some kind of reference to Kang in this one because multiverse is the main drive here. And as far as like this being like the first true Marvel film since the pandemic and everything, Spider-Man's owned by Sony, so it's not going to follow like necessarily the main timeline and what they're trying to build towards. I mean, indirectly, yes, but I feel like this is the first big event movie that is going to tie all the TV shows and everything together. So it seems like it would be wrong not to have some sort of reference to Kang or kind of explain what happened with Loki and how that ties in.
Or even, Loki shows up because he got a tip or something, like a Kang indicator, basically.
Yeah, like the multiverse is going crazy on the little chart.
And he's like tuned it in to where like only a Kang or one that had the same energy signature as He Who Remains appears, and so he only shows up in those timelines because he's gone rogue, quotations, in the TVA. And so then they just like meet, fight, and then they're just doing stuff in the background while the main movie's still going on, and their fight doesn't end. It just carries over to the next time we see them.
Makes sense. So other characters that we could potentially see, obviously Sylvie, if she's there with Loki. We know that Doctor Strange did reshoots, and that's completely normal. A lot of people freak out over reshoots, but that's kind of like packed in as part of the budget, is that they get a thing and they get a cut, and then they see what they can add, take away, and change, and they go back and do reshoots to kind of make it more cohesive. And I can see every pore in your forehead. So now I lost my train of thought. So anyway, yeah, they did the reshoots, and they were looking at like about 3 hours, which Batman, by the way, is 2 hours and 55 minutes, like final cut. So that might encourage them to be like, hey, we don't have to cut it too much. That would be awesome. I would love that. Give me a 3 hour Doctor Strange movie.
Down the hall to the editor room. Cut the poop joke.
No, leave it in. It's okay. Batman's almost 3 hours long.
Oh.
So different characters we could see show up. They've done the recut or the reshoots, so they finished that. But rumor is that the reshoots were taking place after Spider-Man No Way Home. Then they saw how well the cameos did, so they added more cameos. And that's the rumor. Of course, unsubstantiated. Nothing is proof until the movie comes out. Anything could change. Like they shot the shawarma scene from Avengers like the week before the premiere of the movie. So like anything could happen like right up until the movie like is played in the theater. So rumors are that we're going to see everybody from the Fox Marvel universe before, that we're going to see the Fantastic Four from before, that we're going to see all the X-Men, that Patrick Stewart's doing a cameo, and James McAvoy, and all these different people. But that's wild speculation. I don't know that there's been any confirmation or leaks or anything. But even if there was, they're still going to play Andrew Garfield on this and deny. So, which by the way, he lied to Emma Stone, and she got mad at him. So he said that she called him up and was like, "Hey, are you in this movie?" And he was like, "No, I don't know what you're talking about." And then she went and saw the movie and called him up and was like, "Jerk." So, I'm glad to know that they still are like having like a normal relationship, like even though they're not like together. So even though she called him a jerk, but for good reason.
I think there's one cameo. If they're gonna do it, this is the time. This is the time to make me cry. One word, 4 syllables? I think it's 3 syllables. It doesn't matter. What do you call a body of water with the Grim Reaper in it?
The Dead Sea.
Oh, damn it, Dylan. Come on. Body of water. The Grim Reaper's in it.
I don't know.
A Deadpool.
Oh, Deadpool. Yeah. Okay, makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. This would be perfect time to bring in Deadpool.
Yeah.
Rumors are. So there were rumors that they're casting the Fantastic Four right now because that is going to be John Watt's next movie. So they're in the casting and the writing and all that kind of stuff. They're in pre-production right now. So they're casting the stars, right?
Yeah.
Rumors are that John Krasinski has done a scene as Mr. Fantastic for this movie. But like I said, man, it's so hard to stay away from these leaks. I'm trying, but just scrolling through Twitter or even Facebook or Instagram, it's like everybody's like, "Oh, by the way, blah 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 blah." It's like, stop spoiling me.
Yeah.
And then they're not even like, everybody just wants to be first. Everybody just wants to make news. It's like, come on, man.
Everybody wants to go.
I heard through a hole in the ground that somebody was whispering that John Krasinski showed up. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's a real source. It's a real source. It's like, come on.
So yeah. All right.
So I mean, and also there are rumors that that Tom Holland. So we know that that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland are all three down to do more cameos together and more films together, and they're talking about even like doing Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man 3, and bringing Venom into that world, that it's all the same connected world for the Amazing Universe. But there are also rumors that they will also make appearances in this. It makes sense that Tom Holland would, because he was connected to all this.
Yeah.
But
last thought of my head brain. Well, no. Piggybacking off what you said first. I think if they continue reboot, not necessarily reboot, really soft reboot? Yeah, soft reboot. If they soft reboot the Amazing Universe to where he has his third and then fourth movie, because I feel like that would be enough to tell whatever story they want to tell.
Well, if they spin that out, because they're still trying to flesh out all the Spider-Man villains, if they spin that out where Andrew Garfield is the Spider-Man of that universe, there's no telling how far they could go, how many movies they could make with that.
No. And then with Tom Holland going back and forth between there.
They wouldn't even need him to if Andrew Garfield, well, I mean, cameos, but I mean, they wouldn't need him to, because why would they bring, I want to know what deal was made, because they went through a lot just to have a drop of the symbiote now canon in the MCU. What did Marvel have to give them in order to get that?
Who owns Galactus?
Fox did. That was part of. Yeah, that's MC. Yeah, Marvel owns that.
So because that was Fox.
Yeah.
What did they have to give them? I'll think on it. I'll think on it what I think would be equivalent. Because Tony's gone, so they can't use Iron Man. Oh, Freck. Oh, Freck. Dylan.
Share.
I'm an idiot genius. I keep forgetting this. I forgot to say it in the Spider-Man movie, the Spider-Man thing too. Doc Ock. No one took that arc reactor from him. Nobody took that mess at all. There was something else that happened. So Doc Ock goes back with that. Oh, and then the other thing. There was two things. One, Peter, what Tobey Maguire said, I don't know if I said this in the group chat or not. Tobey Maguire said something weird, that he's been working on a Green Goblin. He's been wanting to cure the Green Goblin for years. Yeah. And I don't know why he phrased it that way.
The way it came across to me was that it was like it's a big failure, and he's been. Well, I mean, okay, I see what you're saying. Like, there's a difference between having like a regret and wanting to do it, and then actually going through and making the serum to fix him. Like, why would you need to do that? Unless it's just like therapeutic or something.
He's been working on a cure He's been working on a cure for the Green Goblin for years. Mm-hmm. Was, I believe, the exact phrase.
That sounds right.
And what I was thinking is, why did he say it like that? You could have said any other way, like, because he used present tense, which I think in his world there was a third goblin.
Hobgoblin?
Could be Hobgoblin, could have been one of the other two Green Goblins. Because it could have been, the Nate from his world becoming Hobgoblin, or, yeah. So I think he has another goblin. Now his Doc Ock has the arc reactor. Their timeline has changed. So, yeah.
Yeah, because that whole deal with fixing the villains before they go back to their timeline, that changes everything, especially for the Tom Holland universe, or Tobey Maguire universe, the Raimi-verse, because that's the first movie in the series. So if he doesn't die as Green Goblin, then Harry doesn't get mad, doesn't go after him. He never becomes the second Goblin, or whatever, the snowboarding Goblin, whatever that is.
He doesn't become that. Harry doesn't die from fighting.
Yeah, and maybe even Doc Ock doesn't happen, because Harry was the one that fronted that too.
Yep. And Doc Ock now has an arc reactor, because they didn't show him taking it away. Like, he didn't show him like giving it back to Peter or dropping it on the ground, nothing.
Yeah.
He goes back, his wife is still alive, so he doesn't become Doc Ock because, excuse me, sorry.
Yeah, it's a big loose end.
So, I think if they do like an Amazing Spider-Man 3, and then for whatever reason, it is in the Raimi-verse. I don't know how it would get there. To just like,
if there even is a Raimi verse anymore, because if that's why the multiverse is collapsing, because they all went back to their own places and changed everything.
so everything didn't happen the way that it was already established.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, that's that. You can imagine them like over at the TVA, them watching, and there's spikes all over the place.
Yep. Loki shows up with the bat.
Yeah.
Doop. I forgot what my other thing was. That's it.
Yeah, because so maybe what happened in Loki didn't, because it was reset at the end of the series, maybe that happened in a different universe, a different multiverse.
That makes sense.
And now this is happening as a result of he who remains not watching over it.
Yeah. And everything colliding and clashing and.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, as where like, say the scene where in No Way Home where Doctor Strange was going to perform this spell, then they would have pruned that. They would have stopped that from happening because of where it leads.
Yeah.
And that's why we never saw anything like that in the first saga.
Because everything was still being controlled by He Who Remains.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, maybe that first spike happened in the first saga, and now with He Who Remains, everything is started over. Because when Loki came back, he came back obviously to a different TVA.
Yeah.
And because he was outside of time, and so now everything is different. The entire the second saga that we're in now is that different part. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If this is it, maybe it's starting to click for me. It's like how it all fits together. But yeah, man, we could see anybody, everybody, like nothing is untouchable in as far as cameos or anything. But like, I mean, if Chris Evans shows up as Human Torch, like, I mean, at this point, like, because it's multiverse, they can just say woohoo and just be one and done, and boom, we did it, and it not really have any big implications outside of the fandom getting what they wanted or something cool, you know.
Oh, Wanda sees him and she's like, Steve? No, Johnny. Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah. Hey. He was such a douchebag, man. Such a douchebag.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And then Doom. So like, everybody's freaking out because in the Moon Knight trailer, there's like a little box that says like Von D or something behind them, but it's actually the name of like the truck he's driving. It's like Von Delicance or something. I don't know, but anyways, it's not Von Doom, but yeah. So I mean, that's another rumor, is that there's some kind of Doom connection happening very soon too, with the whole Fantastic Four dealio going on. Super excited for all that, and I know my energy level was kind of like blah, and Quinn's not feeling good, so this episode was kind of laid back. But we appreciate you guys watching. Is there anything else you want to add or take away there, Quinn?
No, I just want to see Deadpool interact with Doctor Strange. That's all.
It's about freaking time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, everything could splinter, and then and you get the whole House of M thing where everything splinters,
Yeah.
and then it just like reorganizes in a completely different way.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a soft reset.
X-Men.
I guess a big reset. Yeah, an X-Men in there. But which X-Men? Because, I mean, obviously I don't think Jennifer Lawrence is coming back to play Mystique, and who would want her to after what she pulled. But
No, it'll be fine. A new Mystique would be fine, or if they don't use Mystique at all. Not saying you need.
there's so many ways that they could reboot characters and still keep other characters alone, just inside this multiverse thing, to where like some are different versions or whatever, and they can just explain it away. But on the heels of that, in the next year, we're getting the Secret Invasion. So if something doesn't work out, they can just say, "Oh, well, that so and so was just a Skrull."
Yeah. How I want. I don't know. I don't know who. I might leave a comment in this video later of the one that I want the most to show up just as a Skrull and then just get blown up. Yep. Later. Probably Falcon. But
There's a big rumor going around right now that, or not rumor, but a big fan theory that Happy is a Skrull, and that he was planted there to kind of help see Tony come up.
that makes sense.
Because he was very connected to Nick Fury in No Way
No way.
Far From Home.
Yeah. I mean, if he's been a Skrull for like a hot while, it also makes sense of how he survived that explosion point blank. I mean, besides the fact that he didn't want the character to die, which was fine, but everybody else that was there besides him and that was further away got disintegrated.
Yeah.
So,
Bum, bum, bum.
we'll see, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sure we can sit here and go on and on and on about all kinds of different crazy things happening. Oh, another Marvel news thing I just remembered. Black Panther 2 has resumed shooting. Letitia Wright is back on set. Everything's good.
That's
And apparently Winston Duke is getting a huge pay raise for this one. So, new Black Panther, maybe?
as much as
He deserved it anyway, because he's a great asset to that.
As, exiting note, and the internet can eat me alive. As much as I respect and, not in a creepy way, cherish the performances Chadwick Boseman left us with, I think Black Panther, not saying that it can't go on just using Shuri, I'm saying they are trying to climb a hill with nothing but a thumbtack. And they're making it harder on themselves than it needs to be. If they want to recast T'Challa, I think they could. There's a tasteful way to go about it, and he didn't even have to be there. I just don't want them to like take, his likeness and do some weird Fast and Furious mess and like then passing the mantle on that way. Or even if they do off-screen death, it still won't feel right, I guess, is the way to say it.
Well, with the Multiverse of Madness, it's very possible they could pull in a different actor to play
T'Challa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would make sense,
Yeah.
And with everything falling apart, they could just explain away that he was just part of the multiverse that was erased.
he could get stuck or get put there if we happen to see, excuse me, the Watcher, because the Watcher likes to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And
this seems like something the Watcher would show up for.
Yeah. Ooh, we can see the Watcher.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There are rumors that Peggy Carter's going to show up as Captain Britain too. Yeah,
Oh.
Captain Carter, and damn it, Quinn. Also, there are rumors that Tom Cruise is playing Iron Man in a cameo. God help us all if that happens.
Dang.
I'm gonna throw things. I'm gonna throw my drink in the theater if I see that.
I'll just go manifesting. So yeah, or if they want to, if Tom Cruise does happen to be Iron Man, and this will be my last thing, going back to the Black Panther thing, they could, not saying they have to, not saying they should. Oh, I was thinking, first thing before that, this is my last thing, I promise. Denzel Washington's son would be, I think, if they were to recast T'Challa, he would be the one, if he would do it. But if they have a T'Challa cameo and it's Tom Cruise as Iron Man, in my head canon, Denzel Washington was T'Challa in that world.
Or at least T'Chaka.
Or at least T'Chaka. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be okay just to show like a little blurb of like the 90s Avengers or 80s Avengers or whatever. That'd be cool.
Oh, we might see Terrence Howard again.
Maybe next time. I do a horrible Terrence Howard. What does he always say? Baby or something like that? Yeah, baby. Something like that. Okay.
Only watch out, here I come, man.
Yeah, man. All right, man. Oh man, I don't know like what happened with him. Like I liked him, and then suddenly like it's like I don't know. The world just turned against him for some reason. I don't know if he did anything or like on set of Power or something or was it? No, it wasn't Power. It was
Empire?
What was it? Empire. Yeah. Like what happened to that poor guy? Like what about Cuba Gooding Jr. as Rhodey or something? Or no, not Rhodey, but Cuba Gooding Jr. needs to be somebody too.
He can be Bruce Banner. No. I mean, no. No.
What happened to that guy, man? He was on top of the world too.
Yeah.
I think maybe on the set of Jerry Maguire, he was a dick or something.
Oh.
I don't remember exactly, but I don't know. He did a couple. That one movie, Snow Dogs. Like he shouldn't have done that movie, but actually watched that movie and it's hilarious. Like he's basically like Carlton, and in his head, his headcanon narrator is Michael Bolton. And like literally Michael Bolton shows up to like narrate things in his head. It's hilarious. Like it's like weird in the best way. I liked it a lot. It was so dumb. It was so good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways, maybe we should do an episode just recasting the Avengers or something. I don't know.
Okay. I have my list.
Oh, you've been working on this, obviously.
Yeah. I just need it and like $4 million. I'll do it.
Only $4 million?
I didn't say it was going to be good CGI, really.
You do like Quentin Tarantino and find these like people that aren't really around anymore that still have a lot of potential, like John Travolta's. Find those type of people and just kind of bring them up again. David Carradine.
Dylan, stop looking at my list.
All right. So, next in the MCU, of course, we've got Moon Knight on March 30th. She-Hulk, don't know. Miss Marvel, don't know. Doctor Strange on May 6th. Thor on July 8th. Black Panther 2, November 11th. And the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, late 2022. And so, once again, thanks for joining us. And we hope that you'll join us live every Thursday night I was about to say but starting at 9:30-ish. And Central Standard Time. So please like, subscribe, and hit the little bell icon so that you know when we drop a new video, when we go live. And thank you for watching, whether it's on YouTube, on, what did I say? YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook. And thanks again on Facebook. We've hit over 500 followers on Facebook, so thank you for that. And so moving on to bigger and better things. So just help us get those numbers up for YouTube and Twitch, and we really appreciate that. And if you decide that you want to help us out monetarily, there are ways that you can do that. Just look in the notes and the little description there. And we appreciate that. And don't forget to check out the website at www.broken.picturesno.com. And you can find the store there and different products and stuff like that. So that would be cool. My name is Dylan.
Okay, I was making sure I wasn't muted. I'm Quinn.
And we'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.